such a good aerial view there, do pardon. Welcome to the city of Menzoberranzan. It seems we have a small house fire. I do hope someone's on the way. Oh, someone's. Let me check that fire coverage real quick. I thought we had one out this way. I guess it's a little high on the hill. Let's help them out. Sure. Even that out a little bit. So sorry, I didn't realize that was becoming such a hot spot for fire activity. Hopefully this will rush right to it. Any time now. Oh, there's gonna be just a flurry of activity. You're not gonna believe it. Any old time now. It just takes a while for, like, the pipes and all that to connect before they can get out. There. Someone's finally arriving from, apparently, the other direction. That one might not make it. We'll repair your home for you. Hope you got Mr. Snuffles out. So, we'll have better fire coverage out here. Sorry I left them in such a state. Let's check to make sure I haven't abandoned anyone else. It's getting a little crispy out this way. Just a bit crispy. I wonder if we could replace that one with a headquarters. So I'll wait until we're in a little bit more of a need for it. Okay, I had a quick idea about this. As we seemingly on this map environment cannot, not really sure why I'm pausing it, seemingly we cannot have pine trees for some reason. So I was gonna see what looks relatively, close here. Small beach. Could be the, Witching Beaches. That's a little bit strange, but those aren't really tall enough. Those don't have specific names, so it's really like alder or beech or maple that we could get away with. Maple isn't terrible, but witching maples just sounds like a strange euphemism for something, so yeah. I do like witching pines. That has the right name to it. And brings to mind the occasional Mabel and Dipper, which makes me happy. Oh, deeply happy. We can go ahead and get rid of this road. I'll leave that one for now. And then this is going to be interesting to see how much space we actually have here. I do think we may end up losing some of this commercial zone. Like, I'll have to move that fire station, which we'll want to keep, and maybe the carousel, but remove at least these 4 commercial district buildings, because I think we need this space to terraform our lake thing. Hello there in the chat. So sorry I've been distracted. It's good to see you. Ooh, there is breakfast on the way. I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you for having the foresight to do that. I'll stand by here. This is going to be a great day. Oh, it's for you. Oh, I see. I see now. So nice to see you guys. I could not help myself but to jump into the city today. It was so much fun last time. And it's at this really nice point where we're not expanding too quickly, everyone's needs are relatively met. I like this zone we're in before it gets a little bit more complicated and micromanagey on multiple levels. And so the best thing you can do before it gets more complicated is to make sure everything's as you want it here when the city is small. And then I think when we do end up expanding, say, into a new farming industry zone over here, or into the railroad here, as we discussed, I'm thinking about trying to make it as separate an area as possible. Make it more like we have two cities now. Because what I usually end up doing is I buy a whole bunch of area that all fits together with as much flat land as possible, and then I sprawl my city out like a big ugly mini-mall in every direction. And I want to not do that this time. We'll try to clean up any areas we can to make this look cuter, say. And then if we expand, I want to try to make it distinct. We will have some occasional connections, but I want to make sure they kind of have their own water and their own power and all of that. Speaking of water, another really good reason to expand towards the railroad would be that we have actual sea access. Or that may be just a giant lake, but either way, sea level access would be awesome to make sure that we're not completely relying on this one stretch of river for, say, water needs over here or over here, wherever we're expanding. So sorry, I am wildly moving the crane cam here. I don't intend to. I'm not seeing any other fires or problems. Let's take a minute to address this park here. What can we call it that's cute and relatively watery? And I forgot which tool I need. Finally, my brain kicked in there. Alright, something cute and relatively watery. I don't know if this is in fact at all watery, but it springs to mind some sort of boardwalk situation. So I'm trying it. And we'll thumbs up or thumbs down. Promenade Park. Now that it has two sections. It's okay. It's okay if it's not right for you. I just need to know. Try on some different names of things. You can see as time has gone on, this actually has filled in with literal graves there, little gravestones. And so eventually it will be nothing but gravestones, and ooh, we're going to be in a pickle. Ah, what a deceased pickle we're going to be in then. We're at about half capacity now. That must be when it starts to visually change. So half capacity there, we're at starting to fill up there, but not any problem at all. I think now that this fire station is in, we probably don't need these. Yep. Our early cemetery connection there. I guess that is the only connection across the way, so I have to be careful. Right now that's holding everything up. But I would like to connect it through here eventually, say. I don't know what I could build so close to the highway that would allow that, but we could string a little power line across. Ah, yes, and I'm remembering we wanted to start a sort of campus area here where we put this new high school. I cannot neglect that. What other education opportunities do we have? We could put in another public library. They don't really have any library access this side of the highway, though they do have two up there. It's not well servicing the Bryn. We may need a hilltop library eventually, overlooking the lake, say. We also have a community school, which I don't believe I have any of. I think those are all elementary schools. And then this is Institute of Creative Arts, which I guess acts as a high school extension, as the community school seems to act as a elementary school extension. So finally we have the Modern Technology Institute and then University, I think, which are unlocking soon, very soon. So with another bit of population we can put a university in for sure. I think that's kind of large, so I'd like to fit that in before we really fill any other areas because I need to know how big it is. So, that being the case, let's try to slowly creep our way up to 7,500. We will put houses I guess out here? Because we have a little bit of space left. And we could also try to do something else here, like maybe another side road off Harris Street, and another row of houses hidden beneath the cliff. I don't necessarily want to spoil the views, but I think if they were close enough to the cliff, it sure wouldn't. And that may be an option around here, too, just a little bit before it gets too close to the junkyard. I'm not sure. I also need to make sure. Let me check something here. How is our... I moved, quite foolishly, all of our recycling centers to this one spot. That's great, but they need to be able to have coverage all the way out, and you can see it's getting a little hard for them to get out here. So I could put one, say, here and just dirty up a little corner of this side of the highway. That's a crying shame, but it wouldn't affect our environment or our lumber use or anything like that. So I may need to do that just to make sure everyone has garbage access and we're not getting any backups. Regrettably, I shouldn't have placed them all there. I just got excited. Excited about the Junkyard of Dreams. Give this just a touch of curve so that it looks weird. Alright. Let's put something in here that draws power. I'm not sure what. I'll figure it out later. Never mind. I think I was going to try to make that a little park area, so I don't want to spoil it. We could just relocate one of the existing recycling centers for this. We're still in the green, but we are getting close to the yellow, and I think we can afford it. So I'm just going to add a fourth out here, and we can expand that later as needed. Pardon me, I'm making some jowl noises. I need a sip of water here. One moment. When even I can hear it as actively as I'm ignoring myself. Almost said annoying myself, which is not untrue. You know the problem has gotten severe. Okay. I'm going to put this here so that hopefully the pollution radius will leave just that corner available for commercial zoning if we need to. And then this whole road will be dirty and nasty. That's just fine. So they will need water. I just cross this line while I'm here. Why not? Alright, and they'll need power. It is rather windy out here. I could take advantage of that to isolate our landfill power needs. Only get about 6, it seems. I'm not seeing any 7s. But let's go for it. 6 will be fine. Get as close to the wall as I can there, while it will hopefully still naturally make a connection to the power, but I also don't want to block off any of the building grid. Hopefully that'll be fine. Not quite a natural connection to the power, but very short. Okay. Run, my beautiful simulation. What else am I not thinking about? Power, police, coverage. Pretty good. Yeah, I think we finally fixed most of our issues there. It's a little hard for the fire trucks to get in here. I think if there was just a cross connection on the road they were on, that wouldn't be the case, but that's fine. How about happiness? Aha, our new expanse in the Witching Pines has not had any entertainment buildings, save that one carousel. Let's see if there's something else I can put in here. A Japanese garden sounds lovely, and there are a couple of little spots for it. Let me put it here by the road. Yes, that will make good use of the roundabout space there. Oh, I just wanted a touch closer than you're giving me. Okay, I won't be greedy. Lovely. Hopefully that will cheer them up a bit. We'll watch here. Speed it up, perhaps. There we go. They're starting to realize they have access to a nice garden. It doesn't seem to have a huge area of effect. Like you can see, those red buildings are indeed out of the happiness zone of this, so that's a bit of a shame. Use the Japanese garden in small areas that need a boost. Wondering if this might be one of those areas. Let's go for it. Alright, is there anything else that has a wider radius for, say, this area over here, where I'd like to cover the entire thing if I could? So this is a dog park, is it? Yes. A dog park over here makes sense. They have that carousel. This little block here, let's put it right across from that block. That should cheer them up a bit. Alright, no one else is, like, desperate for it. We could put something else in near the fire station here, though. See for something just a little bit bigger, perhaps. Yes, this looks good. Alright. That should keep everyone happy and hopefully leveling up their new residential zones here. We haven't done much to give these people a reason to level up their homes or invest more money in their homes. Hopefully a little luxury will do it. And this is about full in the Witching Pines. I guess we're going to have to move back to the sprawl out here to reach our 7,500. Let's give them a couple more of these. This grid is wonky. But oh well. Getting closer to the cemetery there, that's nice. I'm not sure if I want to leave a little bit of room around the cemetery between the houses. Some people surely would like a house right nearby. But that's just me foisting my personal preference onto the populace. Trying to avoid that. Alright, so this dog park, yeah, that's adorable. It has little dog obstacles and things. Let's make sure people have some nice houses surrounding the dog park. There'll be one there, so let's do this. There it goes. We can fill this weird spot in. Hopefully that'll be room for like 2 houses, but we'll see what happens. And then just here, because it's so strange, I want to lay in a little curvy pavement path. I like it. right next to the dog park so that more people have access. Hopefully. I guess I can also kind of extend that thought through to the cemetery, but they can already use the sidewalks once they're on that street to get right there, so I don't know. Probably shouldn't be walking your dog through the cemetery necessarily, but it's fine. We welcome all here at the cemetery of the good dead of the day. Your good deed for the dead. You're dead, is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. Alright, let's fill another one in here. Place some trees and goodies around that path later. Yep. I'm sorry to tell you this way, but it turns out you've been dead the whole time. You have been haunting me, and I just didn't want to make it awkward, so I haven't said anything. But now I am gonna need my sheets back. You've been carrying them around going, ooh, and that's very impressive. You know, I'm proud of you. But I'm gonna need those sheets back. So, whenever you're ready to move on, that'd be great. I could do a load of laundry and move on with my own life. As you know, I don't know what awaits you exactly, but I'm sure that the bosom of the great beyond is waiting to welcome you to its, well, you know, we've covered it. I think we've covered all the different possibilities, philosophically, spiritually. Yeah. Pardon me. My rantings. Those as if of a madman. So this is filling in nicely. I want to leave, like, extra weird space here. I'm not quite sure why yet, but that might turn out to be a different kind of zone later. So I should just keep going with areas like this where we've already committed to residential. Keep filling them in. Leave a little room there for whatever reason. That leaves us enough room to throw in another path here. In fact, I could probably even... No, I guess not. Not with the curved path. Try freeform. Not sure how exactly to get that to work. I'll just go straight for now. It's fine. I'm sure there's a way to actually make use of that little shape there, but... oh, who knows? Maybe if I just do this. Haha! Now it's like a weird little side street. Even attempt. Just to see what this does. Kind of uglier than just filling the entire thing in. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you could hear me, pavement. So yeah, let's just go with what we had. Oh, please jump over it. There, you figured it out. Thank you. Yeah, that'll be fine. Alright. Houses are coming in. We've passed 7,000. People are still moving in at quite a clip, but I don't know exactly when that's gonna cut off. We'd better keep adding, since we still have some spots for it. I don't think I'm gonna bring the path through there, so we'll close this off. And, well, close this up. Alright, that block should be done. We're leaving a little room there. Let's add 2 more to this. We'll wait for that one to come in. I guess this weird little area can try for it. So I could just make this an entire commercial block. Let me do that instead. Or a luxury block, whatever it ends up being. In which case, we'll fill in this one as residential. I've committed. Just figure it out. You figure it out for yourselves. I'll be over here. Alright, that is getting a little close to the industrial highway. I probably don't want maybe even that house I just zoned, but we'll try it. I don't know what it's gonna do. Sometimes it's just your thumbstick that betrays you, but sometimes it's like actual lag. It makes it all wonky. And that was some actual lag. Exhibit A, Your Honor. Love the robes, by the way. Very slimming. Not that you needed it, Your Honor. Looking great today. Anyway, about this traffic ticket, I wasn't sure if is flattery legal? Could I continue to So that's just about as much residential as I want over here, if we can get away with it. I'm not sure how many residents there will actually turn out to be, but let's let it run for just a bit. There are still some new ones just coming in, so I'm hoping this might kick us up close. It might not be enough. I always end up needing more than I think I do, but let's just let it play out for a bit. Kick it up to 3 speed while we look for fires. Looking okay, I think. So it's like there are definitely, 86 more people coming in now, but that might be going down. So that would be 7,300-ish. I think we might need just another row or two. I am not entirely sure, but this seems to be adding, only about 4 people per house, say. So it's kind of slow going here. Well, that's not something I wanted to do, but sure. Alright, couple more houses. Anywhere we can spare it, really. Alright, let's go ahead and give him this slice as well. Not sure if I want the end of this near the cemetery to be a more parky area. I kind of like that. So we'll leave the opportunity open for it. However, anything like this where I have a little extra end cap space or what have you, I should be able to fill it in. In fact, even things like this may work as houses, as silly as it is. Must be getting close. Soaring up towards 7,300. We're definitely leaving that block, but let's fill in this one. Come on, that's gotta get us close. I keep hoping, and it's never enough. We should be able to run a road off of the main collector here up to the bog of tomfoolery and begin to make that a something. This is definitely a little wonky from my many strange roads I've placed on it. It's not ideal, like it should be as smooth a curve as it can be, and the traffic can go as fast as possible on as smooth a curve as they need, so this literally does slow down traffic in some instances. But it hasn't been a huge issue yet, so oh well. I haven't even really been watching, but our industrial road does seem to be getting steady use, both directions. Ah, goodness me. We've had a small problem. A small problem in the Forest of Nonsense. I hope that'll grow back, but it may cut into our profits this season. That just spread like, what's the word for it? What's that word? Darn. So how could I have really prevented that? There's a fire station right there, making it all relatively green. But if a fire breaks out, ugh. I am so sorry. For the poor, poor Forest of Nonsense. Oh no, were you the bog witch of the Forest of Nonsense? I'm so sorry. I'll get the burn cream. Dreadful. It's always sad when you don't even notice that half of your industry has burnt down. So that is just going to continue to happen, seemingly, even in areas that are fully protected. Luckily, it looks a lot worse than it is. Like, it's not gonna take that long for it to grow back and regreen itself. It wouldn't be this easy in real life, obviously, but this won't be too big of an issue. It's just a crying shame aesthetically. So I don't know what I can really do about that. Besides just watch things occasionally burn down. I don't think it even affects the verdancy, like the number of trees underneath a plot. I don't think you need to replant more after a fire. It remembers that they were trees, and eventually they'll be back. Alright, we've bottomed out, or plateaued, I guess is the word to use. Around 700, 330, seemingly. We're just gonna need more housing opportunities. So, I can start to make use of one of these exterior curves. I've been leaving them all clear, but that's not really necessary. Let me start over here with this one. Get a nice big swath out of it. That's a nice swath you've got there. In fact, I'm just not even going to worry about it. We're this close to the border, so we'll close it on up. May expand later, and then I'll be kicking myself, but wouldn't be the first time that I've been found kicking myself. Alright, so let's just find a couple more little spaces where it makes sense to have a housing plot. Not too close to the roads. And this should definitely take us over the edge. Alright, no closer to the industrial. Just give this a snuggle partner, why not? There you are. And if we're doing that, we may as well build out over here. I'll leave that in case we want to run a road or at least a pavement path through there. I think that should do it. We're almost there already. In fact, we just have to wait for the milestone to roll on in. Just like the greenery of the forest of nonsense. Oh, I'm seeing this now. 1 second, milestone. Since you let my home burn, we demand that you let us have your haunted pillow fort. That's only fair. Welcome to the haunted pillow fort. Please bring any linens you have. Yes, we will need them. We will need them for coverage. If anyone has pillowcases, they're in short supply here, so bring them on in. And it's PJs only, I'm sorry to say. If you come wearing more than PJs, you will be disbarred. If you come wearing less than PJs, you will be disbarred. It's PJs only. So, I'm sorry, I didn't even... darn. What a fool. Let me jump back to the milestone. I got distracted there. Ahem. I was like, yeah, alright, get back to it. So we do have yet again a new cube here to access new taxation policies. We have unlocked the Metro blimp transport, which sounds ineffective, but maybe it's great. I don't know. The IT cluster for specialization, does that mean we have office zoning now? Yes, it does. We have high-density residential. Yes, we have high-density commercial. We have office zoning, finally. We have the university. This is fantastic. Okay. We can even make an underground subway station now. A deep space radar to let us know if meteor strikes are incoming. I don't think we have meteor strikes turned on, but still, a deep space radar. How cool. We've unlocked that Modern Technology Institute. We finally have another clean power option with that solar updraft tower. This is amazing. I love this level. Alright. So, big things to point out. University. Keep that in mind. Pardon me. Office zoning. Keep that in mind. High density residential. You sick man, you keep that in mind. We can also do an education boost now, which I think makes people more likely to get an education rather than going right into the workforce. I usually like to do that because that makes the offices work a little bit better. I may want to add in a metro station, I'm not sure. Let's take care of some of our other primary needs. As my dear friend Patrick Stewart would say, I wish. Goodness. Sorry, Patrick, I'm misattributing friendship on your behalf. So $75,000 for a university. I'd better just tear off that particular Band-Aid. Oh, but it stings. Okay. It leaves me with a good buildable area. Let's try right here. That is such a lovely building, too. So, university-educated citizens, I believe, can get the jobs that will go in the office zones, which we'll put all over here in some of these empty areas we've left between loudnesses, say. So that will be great. Question is, how long do I need to let it run for people to get a university education, let's say, before they will even be able to build offices? Let's check. And they are wasting no time. They're already graduating citizens, and you can hear that massive clicking of level ups all around. For a second there, at least. Oh, there they go again. So yeah, it may not be long before we have enough university-educated citizens. Let's see, there is an elementary school down there. I could move it or add even another one to our education campus. Let's see what else we need room for, though. We could do a community school. That fits in pretty well there. And then maybe an institute that's a little bit larger. It could go on the outside, though. Say here. Aha! Promenade Park has reached level 4. It's finally gotten enough visitors, I guess. So we've unlocked a climbing frame. Another variety to our entertainment items there. Won't hurt anything for sure. Let's go check that out in a second. Okay. So this actually looks kind of cool here next to the curve of the industry road. Let's put the Creative Arts building right there. I still have $159,000. Shockingly, I've been making these big ticket purchases. I think this will really serve our education needs for a while, for the foreseeable future here, if we can have this whole nice campus. I'm hoping the traffic isn't too terrible. It is all, I guess, forcing itself through the residential side streets, which isn't ideal. We specifically removed this option so that there would be less noise for the residences, but now I've built a huge campus here, so we may just have to re-add this road to make sure that not as many cars are driving past the houses to get to school every morning. Just take a quick slip here. And that makes this connection, once again, a little bit superfluous. Before, it was just curving out from here and ending in a residential, and then when we cut it off to make it all residential, we didn't need to do that. So now I'm wondering if we should put it back. Let me just straighten this out while I'm at it. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right. Uh-huh. Yep, I know you're already occupied, but that's you. That's your own road you're talking about. So, you can change that. I think I want it straighter on to this intersection here. Nope, neither of those really work. Alright, let's give it an actual curve then. We'll get there eventually. That's the one I wanted, right? Yeah, right? Yeah. Alright. Good enough. So, we've cut off that little cul-de-sac of residential again. Hopefully they'll have their peace and quiet, and any of this educational traffic will hopefully funnel right this way. There's still definitely some road improvements to be made there, but we'll get to it. This is a little bit backed up here. It's still moving pretty quickly, though. It's just thick with use. This is all working pretty good. Slip road's working great. Portish Way is bringing our garbage trucks back out to us. Thank you, thank you. I am happy with how it stands. I'm not sure why there's these gaps here, if I maybe left those intentionally, or if I left them foolishly. Something I didn't consider, too, as it relates to, like, fire hazards, is I wonder if since that industry over there, the Forest of Nonsense, was all brand new industry buildings, they're probably all level 1. And it makes me curious if, as buildings level up, does the fire protection, the individual fire protection, rise as well? Like if they're using less flammable materials or something. Or does that have nothing to do with it? Just curious, because I've been worried about that happening again and again in our big forest, but it seemingly hasn't ever since it's had some time to run. I don't know if it's just because we literally have 2 huge fire stations on it, but this one seems just about as green with its 1 fire station. So it'll be interesting to see if as it levels up that changes at all. Alright, so I really need to start putting in, let's say, some high-density zoning. Fire here. Should be a station right nearby. And yet, for some reason, it came from that station? Choices they make on who to send are very strange to me sometimes. But okay, thank you for putting it out. I hope it's not going to, hit us again here, but it might. Oh, it sure might. Okay, what are these saying here? I can't see behind my broadcast bar. Jump into my laptop. Not enough educated workers. Okay. Okay. Seems to be just a low-density commercial building. I'm not sure why their worker needs would have changed, but maybe they can evolve over time. A lot of people seem to be making use of our campus now, coming in and out. To the university, to the creative arts. I'm so happy to actually have the money to be giving the community some stuff like this. This is great. So, where to start zoning some office? I guess is going to be my next question here. I need a little buffer zone here. Let's start trying it out. Take it down to 2 speed again, just in case. I'm just gonna try some random stuff here. This would probably be a good spot for it. I'm not going to need that many. Again, they need to build up a little bit more education first. But that, like, if you place it between the dark blue of the commercial district and the green of the residential, it basically acts as a perfect sound dampener there. It also gives you some nice visual variety. So our first offices are officially being built. Let me give this a quick pause. I'm going to jump up to the Bryn here. I know we had this whole row that was one square houses. I like that a lot, and I believe we still have that European building style thing enabled behind the scenes here. But that only works if the internet is to be believed. Questionable. But that only works with high density buildings. So I'm thinking anywhere there's one of these tiny little houses, we can replace it with a high density spot, and then it'll just give us a cooler look, I'm hoping, to these little edges. So let's see what happens here. I'm not sure if I've read the cards right, but if I have, this should be fun. Go up to 3 speed, and one is being built now. And it is built in the European style. Probably a very specific European style. Not the European style necessarily, but yeah, there you go. So I just thought that'd be cool. Anytime there's one of those tiny little houses that's not tremendously useful anyway, we can at least take it up to high density. And I just think that makes it look really nice on those weird random spots where there's not much building room. So there's a couple more of those we could go for. There's some over here even, seemingly. I'm not quite sure why. Let me take a few more of these out all at once. There's these. I'll just do those one at a time. Same story here. And this guy. One of these. That should be enough for now. Concentrate on this block. Is that it? Must be. Alright. So that should start building in as well. So, good to know what our problem was there with the European style theme. Let me show you that again, just in case. I've forgotten myself. If you're in this districting tool, you can say building style for this district, and we selected European, but it didn't change anything because they were all just suburbs. There is, in fact, a DLC that's very cheap. We might just want to grab it. That's called European Suburbia, and I think it fixes that exact problem. It allows low-density European-style buildings. But I just don't have it yet. So that was my big idea there. Now we have just a couple of different style buildings in the Bryn to make it more interesting and hopefully desirable. It is funny to see them just stacked in there with the others. No one's taking me up on this one yet, for some reason. There's all this extra space you can see that's never really going to be made use of, regrettably. I guess I could throw in one here, too. Why not? And here. I don't think it really has any other choice when it doesn't have anywhere to go. It'll probably only build a one square regardless. If it can do 2 wide, go for it. Who am I to stop you? Alright, just anywhere where that's kind of weird zoning. Fill in a little one of those to make it pop. Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird zoning, but it's such a cute house. Goodness, I love that. Little mailbox on the porch. I can't even get rid of it. It's so cute. Let's do the other one. Okay, here's a strong contender. I'm not sure what it is about my commercial districts that they seem to have evolved a higher class of clientele. They're like, no, we demand more educated workers before we will sell you these Funyuns. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying. It may be a matter of access, like these folks here would have to drive quite a ways to get to school. It's not that far, but it is far, so I might want a Riverside campus area eventually. We're still raking in the dough quite effectively. So we may be able to afford it sooner rather than later. I am regrettably just about out of time for today. I do need to rush off and fix some issues. I do regret. Here's another good spot for an office. But it has been absolutely lovely hanging out with you all. Something that was brought to my attention that I'm very grateful for. is the fact that since there's a little bit of a delay in my speech and the chat catching up to me, I usually end our sessions and then race right off just as everyone's typing their goodbyes, because I'm like, goodbye everyone, I'll see you later, and then I wait for a little bit, and then there is a bit of a delay involved, and I'm not waiting long enough. And so I'm trying to be better informed here as to when I'm going to leave. And better inform you all, because I would like to catch any closing comments, barbs, let's say. And I have not been intending to cut you off, but I believe I have several times, so I do apologize, and I will attempt to give better warnings here. Just looking for anywhere else where one of these might make sense. A couple of these are actually 4 squares, if I'm not mistaken, like this one that I was threatening to remove up here. Somewhere. I've completely lost it. Yeah, this one. Huh, no, that definitely can't be. That's interesting. So it's like it's that same house, and it's a 1 square only, but that same model of house was being used over here as a 4 square, seemingly. It has like a bird bath and a swing set. Unless that's somehow part of this one, but that would be weird. In fact, that one is weird. I have no idea how there's a house that's not on the road, necessarily. This must just be its long driveway here. But, huh. That usually doesn't happen. They usually have to be closer into the road than that. I like it. So the Bryn is pretty well stacked for zoning. We're adding an office in there. That's... Oh, I guess the office is European style? Is that what I'm to believe? Okay. That makes it interesting. It is quite an edge, like with all those tall buildings. It makes quite an impression. I'm hoping it remains a good impression. But there are some, clashing styles now. An interesting trio of houses over here. So sorry just to ramble at you. It looks like our forest of nonsense is finally growing back. The dear witch and her many salves and ointments should be able to move back in. Alright, I have about 2 minutes. ETA 2 minutes. Pollution is starting to grow in from this, but that's alright. You can see the recycling trucks making their merry way out onto the highway. It's awesome to see. Let me check how that traffic is doing over here. I don't think we've had any issues, really. Okay. So, here's another spot where it'd be good to have a little bit of office zoning to dampen the sound of this commercial across the way. We can also kind of intersperse it with extra commercial zoning as needed. And like I was saying a long time ago, offices aren't actually like a commercial district or whatever. They count towards the industrial demand because they are jobs. So anytime that yellow industrial bar is high, we can reduce it by building more offices which don't pollute and don't create any noise and can be built just about anywhere. It's just that you need to make sure everyone's educated in order to use them. It's the only problem. Speaking of which, let me try to kind of pick out an area for a campus. I guess it could be like here before it gets too polluty, or it could be here before it gets too polluty. It could also be here-ish. But that's getting a little bit closer to the other one. think this might be a good spot for it. I was going to make that just some extra residential district, so let's try that next time. I think that'll help out our educational demands. Last check before I leave. Thank you for bearing with me. We are getting a little low. This is what I was wondering, because we've made such an expanse out here in many different areas. So we need a little bit more output to keep up, and we need a little bit more input. Let's go ahead and throw another one of these into the line. Weirdly disruptive, considering all of the rest were fine, but sure. And we'll grab another intake as well. We could also supplement this with a water tower somewhere. Wouldn't create quite as much noise, but this should be fine. It's long past time, so that'll take us well back up into the green. Great. Was worried about that. How about our garbage collection? Still in the green. Electricity production still in the green, but getting there. We may want to look at that solar updraft tower next time. Okay. That's it for me and Menzo Berenzon for now. I will be back. Hopefully this weekend we can polish off some more of the Trespasser Dragon Age DLC, if not finish it outright. I'm looking forward to that. And then we have many other things to launch back into. I cannot wait. Thank you for your time, for your kind attention, and your company this morning. Hope you have a lovely day, and bye for now.